Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the founder of Food Truck Training Group on Facebook, co-owner with my beautiful wife, Melissa, of our own food truck. It's called Food Truck 101, and I'm the executive director of the National Street Food Vendors Association, which is a nonprofit which is dedicated to education, advocacy, and uplifting all food truck vendors. Today I'm going to be talking about event strategies. But first, before we get into that, I want to remind you about the Food Truck Owners Expo that's in Houston, Texas this year, July 29th and 30th. I'm going to be there giving 3 classes. One is on writing a profitable menu, one is on marketing in the off-season, and the third class, a new one we just added this week, is going to be about all of us as food vendors speaking with one unified voice so that we can affect change in our industry. But I just wanted to remind you guys about that expo, and if you want to buy tickets, go to ftoexpo.com. Place your order today, and when you do, put in the code FTTG15 for a 15% discount. I want to thank Table Needs for sponsoring this episode of the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. Table Needs is a full-service POS system capable of handling your busy food truck, cash, credit card, and reporting needs. Check them out in the link in the description if you'd like more information about Table Needs. So now let's talk about event strategies. So I've got 5 different strategies every beginner needs to consider when they're writing their plan for how to do an event. The first strategy is research and making sure that you're able to choose the right event. Not all events are created equal. Not even all vendors call opportunities the same thing. Here's what an event is. An event is a publicly attended gathering of people for entertainment purposes. That entertainment could be a car show. That entertainment could be riding rides, playing games, petting pets, listening to music, watching a sporting event. Those are events. A catering is not an event. A catering is a single payer where you're gathering up a bunch of food and either serving it or dropping it off. That's not an event. It could be a wedding and the client calls it an event, but it's a catering. It's an event to them, but to you as a business owner, it's a catering. So what I'm talking about is an event with publicly attended people doing something entertainment-wise. So you got to research the event before you ever even decide, is this for me? Researching an event, what you're going to be looking at is a history. Does it have a history, or is this the first year? If it has a history, how many people have attended it in the past? How many food vendors have they had in the past? You don't want to attend an event where the mix of attendees to food trucks is out of balance. You do not want to attend an event where the marketing budget does not make sense to the amount of people they say are going to be there. You do not want to attend an event where the social marketing reach does not make sense for the amount of people they say are going to be there. So if you're looking at an event and it says, and the promoter is telling you, yeah, there's going to be 10,000 people there. Will 10,000 people fit in the space they've got? Does their marketing reach include way more than 10,000 people? Because in order for them to have 10,000 people, they've got to reach maybe 100,000 people. That would show there's excitement. That shows there's a chance of there actually being 10,000 people there. How many food trucks are going to be there? It makes no sense for you to attend an event where the ratio of food trucks to attendees is out of whack. And what kind of number makes it out of whack? For every hour that you're there, you need approximately 200 people potential for every single hour you're going to be there. Now, if there's 5 food trucks, that means you need roughly 1,000 people per hour. If you're going to be there 5 hours, that means there needs to be 5,000 attendees for that number of food trucks. You also got to consider how long the event goes on. A 2-hour event, people can eat before, people can eat after. They may not eat during. So it makes no sense for there to be a bunch of food trucks there because there's going to be a lot of people sitting there idle. If it's an 8-hour event, then yeah, more food trucks, and you need a variety of food trucks. But you don't need you don't need a bunch of people promised and a bunch of food trucks. That's just not going to work out. So compare and do research on the event. Strategy number 2, plan your menu for high demand. Once you've committed to doing the event, and they say yes, and you can verify that they have the right number of people and the right mix of food trucks, then you want to plan your menu for high demand. You will assume you're going to be busy. Thin your menu down. So 3-4 things at most that you can put out really, really quickly that are very representative of your food and your service, and then get it done. You do not want to be bogged down with long lines and a slow menu to produce. That is a disaster waiting to happen. A couple of years ago, if you listened to the podcast, you would have heard me talk about a food truck where we spent well over an hour in line and then another hour waiting on the food. The reason I bring that particular story up is that food truck has not been back to our city yet. And it's been going on now 2 years. that bad of a first impression is remembered, and they've not been invited back. And I'm sure they probably asked to come back and they've been told, no, we don't want you, because you screwed up so bad the first time. Optimize your setup for efficiency. When you get to an event, unless you have the opportunity to set up the night before and then open the next morning, you want to make sure that when you pull into the event that you're able to get going fairly quickly. So optimize your setup so that it makes sense. Put out what you need to put out quickly, and let's get it open. For our food truck, we can have everything ready to go in about 20 minutes. And that includes putting up our flags and raising the window. When people see a food truck, they're going to start knocking at the door, especially if they're hungry. So you want to make sure that you're able to open as quickly as you possibly can. So optimize your setup for efficiency. Promote your own participation. If you're going to be attending an event, you need to let your own followers know, hey, I'm going to be at the event. And you need to let them know consistently on your business page as well as your personal pages. Every advertising avenue that you have needs to be populated with where you're going to be and what the event is. It has to be. If you're not promoting the event, then you're not promoting yourself. Your promotion for the event should be similar to how the event's promoting itself. If they're putting out 3 posts a day, you need to make sure that you're commenting on those posts and, yep, I'm going to be there, can't wait. So that lets people know you're going to be there. So you got to follow the event and then basically stalk them. And every time they post something, you got to respond. You got to like from your business page. Even if it's the only person talking, at least people will know you're going to be there. And you hopefully will also expand your reach, because we hope that the event has a bigger reach than you do. And there's some people that you will gain as followers because of your interaction with that particular event page. Strategy number 5 is you want to engage with your guests. You want to build a relationship outside of the event. Now, why is this important, especially if it's a big event that you probably won't be doing again till next year? Because those people are local, some of them. And if you're local, they'll come seek you out if they liked your food. Now, if you're passing through one of the transient vendors and you're not even going to be back until next year, people look at events as tradition. And if they liked your food this year and they see you're back next year, they'll feel good about stepping up and ordering because they don't have to try somebody else they don't know. Humans are creatures of habit. The more we get involved with their habits, the more they eat our food. So we want to be a part of their habits, their routine, their daily goings on. So engage with them, make it memorable, not just the food, but that 1 minute you've got to take their order, make sure the engagement process makes sense. How can I engage these people and make them want to come back tomorrow? How can I make their attendance in this event be memorable because of me? You're not just serving food. Oh, look, it's 100,000 people. I'm going to make $30,000, $40,000 this weekend. That's awesome. No matter how busy you are, no matter how slow you are, you need to sound excited. You need to make every single guest feel like they are the only person in the world for that 1 minute they're interacting with you at the cash register. You got 1 minute. Impress them to make sure the food is assembled properly and it tastes great, and get it done. So there you got 5 event strategies. If you've never done an event, these will help you out. Do the research, choose the right event, plan that high volume menu, which means a small menu. Optimize your setup so you can get in and get out, and that everything flows within the truck. I've said it before, food moves, not your employees. If you see your employees moving, something's inefficient on your food truck. Promote your participation. Let your loyal guests know that you're going to be there, and hopefully you'll pick up more guests by interacting with the events pages. So again, the goal is that you maximize your success. You got to take the bull by the horns. It's your business. Let's make it work to your advantage. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. Take a moment, follow our podcast, and if you really like what we do, please support us. There's links in the description to make that happen. Every little bit does help. We enjoy any support that you guys can give us. Until next time, you guys have a profitable day.